Wow, Matt Reeves, Batman. 2 hours and 56 minutes. It did not seem like. Wish my buddy could be here to talk about, but got called in. So we want this, get this kind of up somewhat recently. So afterwards, we just went to look around for NECA TMNT stuff to see if they finally had the Frank and Raphael in. And then we saw this. Not bad for with tax. It came to 32, around 31 something. With they had a sale on it. Then there was another 20% off, and then we had other stuff. So why not? He seemed pretty okay with it. And it works because now we got something else for the background to have and show off in the film. Review. This thing's pretty heavy. It's not bad for 30 bucks. On with the review. Alright, if you want an honest review, we'll try to make it somewhat quick. If you were here, it might be a little longer, but I haven't cared about Batman since 2012. I liked The Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises was okay. Had no interest in it since. And this is coming from someone who was tired of superhero films. I blame Marvel. I blame the MCU. I'm sorry. Whew. Holy cow. Again, it's been 10 years since I last gave kind of a crap about Batman in film. Congratulations. This was amazing. Wow. I mean, first off, the score, I think, hit me the most. I mean, it was amazing throughout the whole entire film. I mean, there were moments, the sound of it just, with the certain scenes, it was, like, it's hard to describe. Like, it sometimes it may think of, like, Tim Burton with the older films, and someone, especially, like, with, Selena, and certain things. But there was a lot of times where it was, like, horrific, edge of your seat. This was like a thriller. What I liked about this film was it was that detective story of Batman with Gordon. Damn. I mean, holy crap. I was focused, edge of my seat the entire time. 3 hours is nothing for me. I can sit through long films. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, whew, holy cow, though. I mean, that music, it was just amazing. This was like a thriller, mystery, some horror into it. Just, it really grabs you from the start, and you're just along for that ride in this story. And I think that's what's key with this. It is a story. I feel like this isn't just mindless CGI, action, explosions. I know that stuff was in there, but for the most part, this was like a thriller, a mystery, kind of like a whodunit murder mystery type of thing there, catch the killer type of thing there, and it was amazing how well they did that. I mean, everything from, like I said, the score still is haunting me. It is beautiful, it's amazing, and it wasn't all just a wah, wah, but wow. And the performances, I mean, it goes to everything. I mean, yes, it was dark, but it makes sense how Gotham was in this. Gotham, I liked how it was constantly raining. Like, a lot. And, it, like, I'm sure that, as you can see, it impaired the villains. And it just worked. It was wet. It was dark. It was depressing. And that's where I think Batman works. I know everyone gets tired of all the superhero movies being real, gritty, dark. I know the Dark Knight series did that for all these other superhero films, and I don't think it works for those. For most of those, you can have a good actual story, but they're always trying to make Batman, but it works for Batman. It does. I want Batman to be dark. I want it to have this type of storytelling. The animated series was dark. The Tim Burton ones, I mean, holy cow. And this film, amazing. Just knocked it out of the park for me. My best friend, we're going to go see it again. We're going to grab some other people like, hey, you were iffy on this. Trust me, you just might enjoy this. Wow, and the performances, I know at first when you saw the costumes, and you saw Robert Pattinson, and people were like, I'm like, no, don't skip on the guy. I know it's Twilight this and Twilight that, but seriously, if you've seen some of his other works, I remember me personally, one of the first time seeing him in something other than that, like The Water for Elephants, And then most recently, The Lighthouse, among other things. Damn. And he does a great job. Major props to Robert Pattinson. He was great. I felt like a lot of people say, like, you know, like, it's true. Batman is like, he's Bruce Wayne, then he's Batman, then there's the Bruce Wayne that he shows to, like, Alfred, everyone, and there's the Bruce Wayne he has to fake with be the rich guy type of stuff there when he's at events and around certain people. And then there's Batman. I think he did a great job as being just Bruce Batman all in one throughout the whole thing. And, like, when he was Bruce, he was still, I felt that kind of, that mindset and that thought as he is when he puts on the costume. So in and out, it was the same guy, and you can see what he was going through, and he did a great job. I really liked Andy Serkis as Alfred. Such touch. He was great for what little screen he had on there. I like that fatherly type of thing there. And then, no spoilers here, just, you know, I highly recommended. I like how there was towards, you know, certain scenes, and he's just, you can feel it. Like, I was getting ready to cry, and I was like, wow, this is hitting me. Amazing job. Zoe Kravitz did a nice job as Catwoman. My favorite is still always going to be Julie Newmar. But she did a good job. I'm not saying she's my favorite, but I liked it, and if there's more to, if she shows up again in the next one, I like this. I don't want to mind it. Yeah, the story was there, the message was there. I mean, it was. That's one of my favorite things is with him being the detective. And Batman with Commissioner Gordon. Again, Jeffrey Wright. Great job as Commissioner Gordon. They great chemistry. I felt like they worked it. And I liked the dialogue, where it's that noir, that kind of snappy dialogue where they're talking fast back and forth. What about the scene? Well, the chance of this. And then the riddling, the clues. I like the whole thing where it's like they were saying, the Zodiac Killer. I saw it as like a lot of Saw. Because there was traps. There's one where it's like in a cage and rats getting ready to gnaw the guy's face off. It was, speaking of, this was close to an R rating. I would love to see Batman go into R territory. I mean, there were some F-bombs. They said shit quite a few times. And it was like within the opening thing, you get some brutal bludgeoning of, it was pretty good. I mean, there's like no blood splatter, it's not gory, but a lot of the contraptions, and there were so many scenes. I love how you can see it when he sees, like, for example, one of the victims from the Riddler earlier, and again, Paul Dano, always pretty much a fan of the stuff that I've seen him in. He does a great job. He did a great job as this. He was terrifying at times, but kind of silly. Like, he had, like, when he's showing on a phone, he's like, you see the footage, and oh my gosh, it's like terrifying with the whole terrorist kind of killer, psycho killer type of guy thing, but then his over-the-top goofiness, you know, even though it felt like maybe sometimes a little kooky, but still kind of frightening, and you worried about who was next. Are they going to get there in time? What's going to happen? And then, like, putting the pieces all together. Wow, great job to, like, everything. And then, of course, Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Wow, I mean, again, just the whole, like, totally does not look like him. But he does a great performance. I look forward to more from this character. He did a great job. Everyone did a great job. There, you know, other characters, you know, like people with underground that were also in the same realm as Penguin, with Falcone and all the stuff there. And a lot of the riddles and clues, it was dark, it was creepy, it was disturbing at times. It was pretty deep. This film, wow, this is how I like to see. I want Batman like this. I love again, I like Julie Newmar. This is my favorite Catwoman. I like the Batusi, but damn, so much they could do with the storylines for this, for the next one, and so on. My only downside is, please, hopefully not Joker too soon. I would like to see people do Mr. Freeze besides Arnold or something. And there's plenty of other storylines. You can get really dark, deep stories. But with Batman being the detective, working with Commissioner Gordon, a lot of scenes. The Batmobile, when it makes that sound, was creepy. That chase scene was pretty good. And there was humor in this. Not MCU where everyone's doing one-liners and cracking something in the middle of something. The humor in this was, Thumb Drive. You'll get it when you see it. And they weren't like, ha ha, her derp. Ha ha, wink. It was just, they say it without, it was just as subtle, it was there. It was kind of just like, really? type of stuff. Like, the people in the movie were reacting like, and my favorite one was with the penguin. They have him cuffed, and he's like, come on, and he walks like a penguin. Like, because he's cuffed up, and so then he's like, hey, come on, I'm over here, come on, get me. What about me? And it's just, oh my gosh, it was entertaining, story-driven, character-driven, the stuff that goes deep with, like, everything, with the Bruce Wayne family, everything around Gotham. Damn, I was really impressed. And this is, again, coming from someone, even my buddy. I haven't seen Dawn of Justice. Was that Batman? That's Batman vs. Superman, the same thing. I haven't seen any of those with Ben Affleck or anything recently. I'm kind of done with superheroes, but this, I will see more of this. I enjoy this more, and I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Batman were always my favorites. No Way Home was okay. It had good stuff there, but it was nostalgia and fan service, I felt like, which took over for most of it. This did not feel like... This, I could see something as a nomination up there worthy of, like, Oscar stuff. And I'm not usually like that with superhero movies, but this story, the cinematography, the lighting, the direction, the acting, the actors, every one of them, for 3 hours, it was amazing. Highly recommend it. And I'm glad to start off, like, if I were to give it a grade, it would be like definitely an A. Like a 9.5 out of 10. Maybe even, because I really love this movie. And also, we have a rating we might try off. Or maybe we'll do this. We like to call it the Friends rating, from my favorite friend, from least favorite to highest favorite, even though they're all great. This, just to give you a hint, this will be a Chandler Bing out of Friends. But again, thanks a lot. What are your thoughts on it? Go check it out. Go check out more stuff from us. We got a lot of neat stuff. Might even show this off in a video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We got more reviews coming. Go check out our ones for Ghostbusters Afterlife. We got Scream coming up. It's taking longer. It's like over 2 hours, and we want to kind of cut it back a little bit because there's a lot of bickering there. Again, I am a huge horror buff. Loved it since I was a kid. My buddies and I, we went to school, we filmed, we made short films, we made horror films. And I've been a huge fan of Scream since it first came out when I was a kid. And what's funny is, could not, well, you'll see, if you want to hear why. But no. Not a fan of it. And again, haven't been a fan of Batman for the longest time. This, my favorite movie I've seen so far this year. Amazing. Congratulations to everyone involved. I mean, that score is still getting me. But it was great. I mean, there's so much twists and turns, and just, you think it's over, and then something else happens. You think it's over, and then something else happens. Great job to, like, everyone there, and, again, my buddy was so, like, he really loved Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I mean, to see him, how he is, to become that, want to see more of him. Paul Dano, and then how he was, and then when he gets unmasked, and what it's leading up to. So cool, so dark. Wow, is all I can say. I think my favorite ones have always been the Tim Burton ones. This is up there with those. Because, I don't know, Dark Knight, for me, why am I having a hard time? I'm sorry, I love him as an actor, though. Who was Gordon, Commissioner Gordon for those movies. I watched it for him, and I watched The Dark Knight, obviously. I thought it was basically, just for the Joker, basically. And I think I'm liking this more than all three of the films of the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm looking forward to this trilogy. Please don't screw it up, because this was a great start. And again, later, stay gnarly, everyone. The Batman. Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson, again, he was great. You can see it in everything. You could see the anger, the emotions, happy, the sad. Wow, he really went through a lot. And his Batman voice wasn't just, I'm Batman. So they weren't just, being cringy and mocking, doing the typical, I'm Batman. Like Abed does it the best from Community. But it wasn't that. He just talked low. Kind of just a deep voice. He just talked low. He didn't try to disguise. He was just talking kind of lower. Talking kind of like this. Like I'm a little bit lower in my voice. Great job. All around. The teacher from Christmas Story, plus. Wow. I just loved it. Later.